Hi, my beautiful darlings. Today we're going to talk about how to stop giving a fuck about what other people think. Stop caring about other people's opinions. Also, I got acupuncture for the first time the other day. I also got cupping done. I don't know if you guys have seen that. My back looks crazy right now. But this video is going to consist of me trying not to cross my legs. I've been told that crossing my legs is horrible for my back, and it's why I've been having back and neck pain. So there's probably going to be several times where I cross my legs and then uncross them. Trying to unlearn the habit. Anyways, you know I fucking hate long intros, so let's get right into the tea. First things first, here is the cold hard truth. You are never going to get everyone to like you. Never. No matter how hard you try to please every person on this plane of existence, you will never get everyone to like you. There's always going to be at least one motherfucker that does not like you. Embrace it, accept it, and allow it. You don't like everyone, do you? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So you need to let that go. Not everyone's gonna like you. And it makes the people who do like you even more special. Next off, your value is not based off of how much people like you. Hear that again. Your value is not based off of how much people like you. The only person that matters if they like you is who? You know it. You. All that matters is if you like you. Next up, what other people think of you is none of your business. The thoughts that they're having about you, that's none of your business. Your only business is how you think about you, not how other people are thinking about you. That's their business, not yours. Do not let yourself get so preoccupied with what's running through their mind. Half the time you're wrong, but we'll talk about that later. Nextly, think about how much you're thinking about how other people are thinking about you. Okay? People actually really don't give a shit about you as much as you think they give a shit about you. Trust me, you are so caught up thinking people are thinking about you. They are way too preoccupied thinking about themselves. Just how you're thinking about how other people are perceiving you, they're thinking about how other people are perceiving them. If somebody has a thought about you, it's typically fleeting. They usually don't carry it throughout the rest of their day. Don't be so pressed about it. It's called the spotlight effect, I think, where we think that people are thinking about us far more than they actually are. Let it go. And also, I always say, and if they are thinking about you, congratulations, you've won. Somebody is using their precious energy and thought process to be thinking about you. Whether it's negative or positive, they are using their energy to be thinking about you. You've won. Next up, whether you have positive or negative thoughts about yourself, they are neither true nor false. They're just thoughts. So whenever you have super negative thoughts about yourself or about what other people are thinking about you, it's just a thought. It is neither true nor false. But when you believe it, you make it your truth. But it is not necessarily true nor false. It's just a thought. So anytime you're thinking, oh my God, she looked at me really funny, just be like, yeah, how I'm feeling is in response to the thought that I'm having about the way that she looked at me. I don't actually know what she was thinking when she looked at me that way. It's just the feeling I'm having about the thought. Nextly, you gotta let go of perfection. I get a lot of people that comment on my videos and stuff, and they're like, how does it feel to be so perfect? I am not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But at the same time, we are all perfectly imperfect. We're all perfect beings, but we're all imperfect. You need to embrace imperfection. What is perfect? It's so what's the word I'm looking for? Nobody is perfect. Nobody. I mean, you look at anybody and you're thinking, oh my God, how does it feel for them to live such a perfect life? Everybody deals with the bullshit that life has to offer. Everybody. The person that you look up to and you think their life is perfect, they go through bullshit too. Trust me. Everybody has the 50-50 of life. Life is not perfectly happy and content and all the time for anybody. So let it go. Let go the idea of perfection and instead seek authenticity of who you are. That is beautiful. I want you to think about what you would do if you weren't worried about people judging you. Really think about it. For every aspect of your life, what would you wear? What career would you go after? What would you do day in, day out if you were not worried about the judgment of other people? Then then do that. That is your most authentic self. And trust me when I say it is going to be uncomfortable for a while, but nothing that you will really gain from life is gonna be in your comfort zone. There are so many things I think back on. If I had just stayed comfortable and okay in something that was maybe easier for me, I would not nearly be as fulfilled as I am now in my life. You gotta do those things that may feel a little uncomfortable for a while if that's what's authentic to you. Let go that fear of other people judging you. Whether you chase your dreams or you remain complacent, people are gonna judge you. No matter what, people are gonna judge you. So you cannot live your life based off of other people's judgment, because literally no matter what you do, they're gonna judge. So do what's authentic to you. Nextly, the biggest thing I really learned was to surround myself with people who accept me for me. And it takes a lot of weeding out, and you don't hit it right every time. And sometimes you think they might for a while, but then you realize they actually don't like you for your authentic self, just the version of you they want you to be. But when you find that tribe, when you find people that really love your authentic version of yourself, it feels so enriching. You leave their presence feeling so good about yourself because you got to just be you in that interaction. And don't be afraid to cut people off that don't accept you for your authentic version of yourself. Now, I know this can be tough when it's like family members and things like that, or maybe you even live with these people. If you live with them and you're young, you're gonna get to an age eventually where you have a choice. So be mindful of that and be prepared for that. But if it's family and you feel like you just can't cut family off that easily, then be mindful of how much time you spend with these people. You do have a choice. You get to choose for yourself and for your life. I really don't feel good being around these people because they make me feel like I have to be something I'm not when I'm around them. Because trust me, you'll just grow to resent these people and hate that you could never be your authentic self around them. Find your tribe. Find the people that make you feel like you can just be you and embrace that, and spend more time with them and less time with the people who make you feel like you have to be something you're not. I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. We do not grow by playing it safe. The most challenging things we have happen to us in life, or the challenging things we have to go through, are what elevate us. Human beings are just like diamonds. We have to be put under pressure in order to shine the most. It's just the way that it is. There's a term for it, but I can't think about what it is in this moment. Human beings, we have to endure challenges. We seek out challenges, even unknowingly, in order to grow. And we do not grow from playing it safe. So challenge yourself to not play it safe. And it might be a little scary for a while, but if you're not a little scared about the things that you're doing, you're probably playing it safe. When you go through those moments of temporary uncomfortability to really challenge yourself, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, I'm so glad I did that, because have I evolved. Next up, you have got to be your own best friend and your own cheerleader. You have to. You cannot rely on other people to be boosting how you feel about yourself. You have to give that to yourself. You have to validate yourself. You have to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're proud of yourself. You're proud of how far you've come. You got this. You are sexy. You are beautiful inside and out. You have value. You are worthy. You need to say all of these things to yourself, because you cannot rely on other people to do that shit for you. And as somebody who has spent so much time on self-love and building my confidence and my worthiness within myself, what people say to me, whether it's positive or negative, doesn't really do much for me. It doesn't really have an impact on how I feel. And you may say, oh, Dorothy, like, you know, doesn't it feel good when people tell you validating things like that? It doesn't really make or break my day. You know, there's a very small part of me that's just like, yay, they're on board with what I feel about myself already. But all that matters to me at the end of the day is how I feel about me. What other people say is just extra. I saw a TikTok sound and it was like, I like me, so you liking me is extra. And that's facts. Please be your own best friend and your own cheerleader. I say this all the time, but you go to bed with you at the end of every night. You have to spend the rest of your life with you. With you! Guaranteed. You really got to love that person because you're stuck with you. Next thing that's important is to get to know yourself. Nobody can tell you who you are when you know who you are. So when you start to learn more about yourself and really embrace your authentic, genuine self and get to know you, when other people try to tell you who you are, you could just laugh because they don't know you like you know you. You're not really gonna be able to do that unless you get to know yourself. If you think you're beautiful and somebody tells you that you're ugly, you're just gonna be like, okay, and just move on because you think you're beautiful. But if you don't think you're beautiful and somebody tells you that you're ugly, you're gonna take that shit to heart. We only generally take offense to things that we find some small truth in. So when you know yourself and you know how you see yourself, when other people try to tell you how they see you, it doesn't really affect you because you know how you see you, you know your truth, that's all that matters. I want you to know that the more you practice this, the easier it gets. If you would have told me 3 years ago that I would be able to walk out in whatever outfit I wanna wear without worrying about how other people think about me, I would have been like, you're crazy. I care so much about people's opinions. I was 100% like a people pleaser that really cared about people's opinions years ago. So it takes time, but the more you work on it, the easier it gets. And now I don't even think about that stuff. Like I'm really not preoccupied with the thoughts of other people. I could be wearing a fucking ball gown to the grocery store and you'll just see me in my little bubble getting my stuff or whatever. I don't care about other people perceiving me. I only care how I'm perceiving myself. You really gotta stop making assumptions. The moment that something happens and we think somebody else is perceiving us in a certain way, we immediately start to make assumptions about how they think about us, and we play the mind reader game and we think that we know everything about what they're thinking. You are not a mind reader and you gotta stop making assumptions. All it's doing is being detrimental to you in the way that you think about yourself. So quit that shit. You really don't know what's going through people's minds. You think you do, but you don't. Nextly, you gotta be mindful of your judgments of other people. If you're super judgmental of other people, you're gonna think that everyone is judgmental of you because that's how you perceive the world. So you're gonna think people perceive you in the same light. I used to be really harsh about other people, and I've grown to realize that like, it's not my business. How people live their lives, how they present themselves, that's not my business. And I really don't give a fuck. Just how I don't want people to give a fuck about me and the shit that I do. So you gotta be mindful of your judgments of other people in order to feel like people are not really judging you too. Last thing I'm gonna say, also my storage is about to run out, is that it's better to get negative feedback rather than no feedback at all. I know, and this is a tough one to like hear, but if you're receiving negative feedback, no matter what you do, people are gonna say negative or positive things about it, and at least you're getting feedback. But if you're being completely ignored and just not perceived at all in the slightest, that feels like shit. You feel like you're not really even existing in this space. So just be mindful that like, if they're talking about you, positive or negative, at least they're talking about you. My storage space is about to die. I love you guys so much. I hope this video was helpful. I post every Friday. You know, let me know what other content you want to see from me. Like, subscribe, do the whole thing if you enjoy this content. I love you so much. Stop giving a fuck about what other people think of you. You're a boss, all right? I love you. Mwah!